Hey there, what's up? It's Steph. Today I'm talking about going pro in your business, specifically marrying the process and divorcing the results. Oh, I feel like I should have a mic to drop. So, how many of you watching have gotten really excited when you A, get a sale, or B, have a new team member join your team? You just get so excited and you're just like, finally, it's happened. Or maybe, third option, you are working really hard and you hit a promotion and you're just like, this is the moment I've been waiting for, right? And you feel successful in that moment and you feel like you're doing the right thing and you're in the right place and it's all coming together for you. And then 5 seconds later, it doesn't feel so great anymore. Back to the grind, right? And maybe you feel like it should have lasted a little bit longer, that buzz, that high of reaching your goal or having a new team member join you or getting that sale. Maybe that buzz should have lasted a little bit longer and it just didn't. Well, I have had that happen to me before. I've been in network marketing for years on and off since my early 20s. It's been a long time. And what I have found is if you don't love the grind, if you don't love the process, then you're going to get burnt out. So you need to find a way to love your process. And a lot of us don't even have a process. We're kind of just throwing stuff against the wall, especially if you're new and you're just still trying to find your groove, or if you don't have a really clear vision for yourself or your path in your business. You're just kind of seeing what sticks right now. And I have to say that there is a time and a place for trying new things. You want to branch out here and there. You always want to be learning. You want to have a time where you are growing and learning new skills, right? Or you're testing something out. However, you need to have a process. Not only do you need to have a process, but you need to be as excited or more excited about that process as you are when you're winning, when you've got that sale, when you've reached that promotion, when you got your paycheck and it's the highest paycheck ever. You need to take that excitement, that feeling, and bottle it up and find out how to find that same feeling in your process every day. You're probably wondering, well, that sounds great, but how? Well, I kind of think of it as think of an elementary school teacher. They go to work. Lord knows that they work harder than a lot of people in their jobs for very little to pay most of the time, right? And imagine if a teacher only got excited on the day she got the school's test scores back. How sad would that be? How many teachers do you think that we would have that went to work today if that was their only joy, right? The only moment where they got really excited, they really felt validated, okay? So teachers have found a way, by and large, to enjoy the process. And without their students or the people that they interact with, they certainly wouldn't be able to have a process, right? So we need firstly, we need people involved in our process. That's the number one thing, people. So write that down if you're taking notes. We need people. We need people above us who have done it before us or who we look up to. We really need to start spending more time with the people that are where we want to be, okay? We need people in front of us, right? We need our customers, our potential team members, however you want to say it. We need people in front of us that we can share our opportunity with or share our business. And we need people next to us. We need people next to us people say it all the time. I don't particularly love this phrase, but we need people to lock arms with us. I don't know. I'm just very literal and I just picture it and I'm like, But we do. We need our tribe, right? And we do need people below us that we are lifting up during this process. So you need people everywhere you look in your process. That's number one, okay? So take a minute to jot down some ideas, names, notes, people that you envision in those areas above you, beside you, right? Not the ones that are going to vent and complain, that are going to bring you down. The ones beside you that are just going to help you move along and get better. The ones that are going through it with you. Below you, the ones that you want to bring up to your level. In front of you. Who are you teaching? Who are you sharing the products with? Okay? Who are you showing up in front of and introducing what you have to offer to? What does that group look like, and how do we keep it bigger, right? How do we keep it growing? How do we just keep it flowing, right? Okay? So that's what you need first in your process. Okay? People. It's a people's business. Once that's set up, once you figure out you got your people and you know what you want it to look like, the second thing is your time. You need to, when you're designing what your process looks like, you need to have a time, a couple of different things. You need to have a time in mind. Daily, how much time are you willing to spend on your business? Let's write that down. Weekly, monthly, right? That you just multiply it out. Daily, weekly, monthly. Time that you're willing to spend. But also, what's the time frame of your goals? And you can get with your upline about this, even your sidelines, to really help you hash it out. I will give you a tip that most of the time when we are setting a goal for ourselves, we are about twice as quick to get to our goal in our head than it'll actually take. We think it's going to take 1 month, and it's actually going to take 2 of consistent effort, okay? Or we think it's going to take 6 months, and it's actually going to take a year. So think about a goal for yourself and the time you want that to take, and then check in with people who have done it before and if what that looks like. What does the realistic time frame look like for you, okay? So we've got the time that we're going to spend on our business daily in this process, the time that we want to lay out for our next goal, our short-term goal, and our long-term goal. I think it's really important in a process to have a long-term goal that you're working towards. Some people call this a vision for your life, and that could be a different training, but knowing where you want this vehicle to take you and what that looks like in detail, what does it mean for you and your family, okay? What is that extra income? What does that number, right, look like? You need to have a long-term goal, essentially. And I think 5 years is a good goal, a good long-term goal. Sometimes even 2 years is a good long-term goal if you are very focused, okay? And you're like, that's where I want to be, and you're just going to get it done. But you need to have a time frame for your long-term goal, your short-term goal, and a time that you want to spend, the amount of time that you want to spend daily, weekly, and monthly on your business, okay? We're forming our process here. Now, the last part of your process, what are you doing during this time, okay? What is this process? Well, that's going to vary individually. It is. It's not the same for everybody because our goals are different, our brains work differently, right? But you need to make sure what you're doing is income producing activities. Your process is not reorganizing your office. Okay? Your process is not scrolling through your Facebook. Okay? Your process is not complaining to your sideline or your downline. Don't ever do that, but that about this one customer. Okay? That's not part of your process. So your process is a very specific group of activities that you can do. I like to say in an hour, a power hour, and that you can pick it up. You can have a notebook. You can pick it up and get to work and do your process. Okay. So maybe your process involves 4 income producing activities, and each one of those is 15 minutes long. So if you commit to doing your power hour, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to follow up for 15 minutes. I'm going to ask somebody to take a look at my business or products, okay? I am going to do that for 15 minutes, okay? Maybe that looks also like booking, sorry, my light just went out. However you run your business, okay? Booking events, etc. Maybe it also looks like starting new conversations, right? We're starting new conversations with people in our network that maybe we haven't talked to them in a while. Think about all of the Facebook friends that you have, or the friends that you have in the world, and how many of them have you actually talked to about your business? Very small. Usually it's like about 5% if you really look at it. And then we're going to, so we've got creating conversations, following up, asking people if they're open to take a look, and adding new people to your network. New people that are going to be in front of you, right? We were talking about people earlier. So the people in front of you, how are we going to add new people to that network? There are different ways, lots of different ways, but you need to have a process. You need to have that be part of your process so you don't run out of people, okay? Maybe it's asking for referrals. That's a big one. Okay, so that we're forming our process. Now we're going to fall in love with it. We're going to marry our process, everyone. We're going to divorce the results. Why? Okay. If you're marrying your process, you're in love with your process, you're going to keep going. You're going to consistently do the do. Have you ever been on like a workout regimen and you just hate what it is? Like, I've tried to run before and I hate running. I have a bad knee. It does not feel good. When I run, my body, everything in my brain is saying, why are you, stop it. And so I'm not in love with that process. But if you put me in a room with some music and you have a dance instructor and they're just like, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. You know what? I am in love with that process. That's just how I am. Everybody's different. I freaking love dancing. So that's a process I'm going to stick to. And I'm going to divorce the results. Okay? So when you are going through your process and you are asking, and it's not something that comes super easy always. I struggle with it still, but it's important to just be aware that when you are committing to a process, that is what equals your success. When you've done that power hour, you must feel amazing afterwards because you did the hard thing, right? You did the do. You wash, rinse, repeat, or whatever. You did that process. So when somebody joins your team or purchases your products, it's not like a jump up and down moment, right? Because that, you didn't really do anything to make that happen. What I mean by that is, in that moment, that was their decision, not yours. But daily showing up and working your process through thick and thin, when you don't feel like it, and even when you do feel like it, but you got to make time for it. That takes commitment, that takes personal strength, and that is something that you did. And you need to love that because you made it happen. That's what you can make happen, right? The other stuff is just going to happen. You're going to get lots of no's and you're going to get lots of yeses. Okay? And that's just what will occur because you did the work. Okay? So this is how you go pro. I want you to remember, have a process. You have to have people first. Process doesn't exist without people. You have to have time, focused time. You have to know what your goal, your short-term time frame, your long-term time frame for reaching that goal. And you just have to fall in love with it. Okay, so you have to know, what are you doing in that process? What are the 4 things that you're doing? And when you can check it off, 15 minutes here, I did that, 15 minutes here, I restart my phone timer, 15 minutes here, done, 15 minutes here, done. You need to fall in love with that process and divorce the results, okay? And then the results will come once you've divorced the results. How funny is that? They will come, they will happen. So that's it. Let me know if you found this interesting. If you have questions, reach out to me. This is how you go pro. Bye.